when you get a call like from Monster and they're like, hey, are you free this weekend to race jet skis in the ocean? You pretty well just say yes. Alligators do not become cordial.
They do not. No.
They still bite 100% of the time.
He looked directly at me, past man, and he was like, Josh, are you going to buy it or not?
I'll be driving a donk to work every single day.
Is all your stuff out of the house? All right, cool. Give me the house key, too.
Yeah, he has no reason to come back. I would rather pay a shark to shoot me and bite me at the same time.
You remember that roll under overhand right that we were practicing in the gym Thursday? I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I dropped somebody with that last night. I'm like, what?
People like that deserve to meet people like us because I'm the guy.
I'm scared money don't make money.
All right, here we go, boys. It's been a little while since we've done these. Another checkers or wreckers. And, yeah, let's see. First of all, Logan, we haven't seen you in a while. It's been
Hot minute.
Yeah, been hibernating for a while.
hot minute.
Been around, but just hadn't been available.
Maybe literal hibernation because he was pretty thick going into wintertime. Maybe about 240.
Yeah, 247. 247.
And then
How
what do you...
tall are you?
6'3"-ish.
Yes,
That's not like a. I mean, you were dumpy, but
Yeah, I carried my weight well.
yeah, but it wasn't okay.
That's a good way to describe it. And what are you coming out of hibernation at right now?
187.
Okay.
Yeah, fighting. I'm getting close to my fight weight.
God.
Okay.
Here we go.
Wow,
And,
okay.
And then Josh,
Yep.
I think you've only done one with us
Yeah.
before, right?
Yeah. Beyond that was Bobby G's that time, and he never did another podcast.
That's
after
right.
that.
That's we did like an hour and a half podcast
No, it
with
was
Bobby
like,
G.
It was like 2 hours, man. We were just spitting rhymes.
Rapping.
Just rapping.
just going for it. And he was
With
like,
Bobby was in town.
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I wasn't here for that one.
here?
Yeah.
I thought y'all did it at
He had that
Bobby's.
little podcast called Taco Truck or something like that.
The
Taco turn up?
No.
no, that's our thing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
It was like Taco Truck, and then he just never did
Yeah.
nothing with it. And then,
Yeah.
I guess aside from that, QD, the only big change you got is you went ahead and finished out the neck tattoo to a full chest tattoo. For the people that have cameras watching on YouTube, let them see what the owl looks like now. Look at this. Got wings, got claws.
Look at them nips, though.
Yeah.
He's getting, the owl's getting some fur, too. Some feathers.
Bro, yeah, I never shaved my chest before, and now I do because the tattoo looks good when it's shaved. If not, it's realistic.
Well, yeah, it looks like a hairy freaking bird.
It becomes 3-dimensional.
What was it like getting your nips tatted, though? That's what I want to know, because that seems kind of...
Questionable.
Yeah, if anybody
Take
goes
it-
to get a neck tattoo, I don't know if it was the time frame, not eating, or what, but the 5.5 hours on my neck, the last 15 minutes were where you were like, you know what I'm saying? Like when the pedal hits you in the shin, like that. But on the chest, Ryan just called me, had a cancellation. So I was like, whatever, I'll go in today. And I was like, let's just do a full day and get it done. Like I knew it was going to take at least that. And so I just went straight from home instead of coming to work, straight over there. And we did 8.5 hours straight with me getting up maybe every hour just to walk around because your back starts to hurt. And everything was fine until sternum, just the thin skin over bone. And that you could feel in your teeth. And that was like, plank, tighten up, let him tattoo for 2 or 3, 4 or 5 minutes, and then be like, all right, I need a break. And by the time he was dipping ink, you were good. So you were just basically planking the whole time for 8.5 hours on and off as he dipped ink.
Dude,
And you did that straight?
Yeah.
And he's
One
not
sitting.
exaggerating because I went from work to the gym and got done with Christine and Rich at like, I don't know, 7:30 or 8 o'clock and went up there to meet them at Ryan's shop. And you boys just sitting there.
Just shaking and
convul-
shivering.
It was
It
right
sounds
about-
worth it. It sounds worth it.
Had to be. It was about the time they were doing his nipples. Like most of it was done. He was like shading it. And like they'd saved the nipples for last, and so it's my boy was just convulsing while he was getting tattooed. What was the worst? What do you think the worst section? Like neck down. What was the worst?
Man, I don't
Like
know.
collarbone.
Like Adam's apple?
The nipples, sternum, and upper ab belly were pretty close to the same. Probably the nipples the most sensitive if I had to pick one.
yeah,
then
it's your
sternum,
freaking
then
nipple.
upper belly.
I would think so.
But I just had no energy left to tense up. I'd burned everything and all the adrenaline was gone, and I was literally couldn't keep my body warm. Like I said, I was in like shock, like I was shaking when you got there uncontrollably. I mean, it wasn't even winter. I drove home in a hoodie with the heater on full blast in my truck, got home, got in a hot shower for probably about an hour and still didn't feel warm
was
until
like-
I ate like
an adrenaline dump
Just
and then
all day.
couldn't recover.
Dude,
Yeah, I had no food. I didn't eat all day. I think I took like a shot of whiskey an hour or something he had in the freezer, and I just didn't eat, so I had no energy.
He didn't drive home after that.
No, yeah, I definitely did.
Drive, yeah.
You worked in a hospital for a long time, so your body, whenever you had to take that much continuous trauma, has got to go into shock or something because it's like getting stabbed 1,000 times for 8 hours
Yes,
straight.
like anything, you have that adrenaline, that spike of adrenaline, but then when you dump, it just your body kind of freaks out. Like it's that fight or flight type deal. So yeah, if once you hit that certain point, I'm sure your body just was like, screw this, and you know that's when you started doing all that nonsense.
Oh, dude, I slept so good. I was out, son.
It had to be from just tensed up that whole time. And
After doing that mentally, I could handle anything mentally. It was hard. Yeah, like the last 2 hours, I was like, bro, don't quit. Like, don't. I ain't laying the stencil down again. Let's just do it. Oh, it was hard.
Dude, I couldn't imagine. My back tattoo took like 3 hours, and that was miserable. You know, and it was worse when it got right on your spine.
was
You
it
know,
painful, miserable, or just like
It was cool. It was cool until the spine. Once he started digging on my spine, right in the middle, it's like, oh my, dude.
To me, it's right before.
That's my tramp stamp, by the way.
your lower back tattoo?
Yeah, lower back.
It's man
I was
tramp
gonna
stamp. It's
ask
upper.
where
It's
I was
upper,
gonna
so
ask where it was, but I was like,
it's a dude tramp stamp.
We'll just let people think about where it
Everybody
is.
was doing it in the 90s, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand.
It's that pain right before your stomach and ears get hot. That's about the threshold it is when it starts to hurt. You're
Right.
like, oof. But yeah, so if you're gonna go get a neck, start with your neck and have to get your chest tattooed, that is what you're in for.
Skip the nipples, you're thinking?
No,
That's why I wonder why a lot of people, when they do like full chest tattoos, it literally is colored around their nipples. It's got to be because that's that bad, huh?
they got that. You know what I'm saying, in their blood. That's what they got in their blood. I wasn't doing that. That wasn't gonna be my.
I wasn't gonna have big 2 pink dots on your your out.
Dude, I kind of thought it was like, oh, because like you said, you see no one does it, and it's like, oh, it must be like a unspoken rule
Yeah.
with tattoo guys. It's like, oh no, we don't touch nips.
Those are for milking anything. Everybody knows anything with nipples can be milked.
Greg.
Exactly.
I figured if I've watched girls get their nipples pierced, and I was like, if they can do that, I can get mine tattooed.
Yeah, and
I mean, if you just picture hot sandpaper rubbing your nipple, I mean, it's
For hours.
speaking of that, the first Mint 400 that we raced that we won, we had those just Summit Racing fire
Those,
suits.
What's that? Potato sack
Yes,
material.
basically
Canvas?
No, we had burlap.
That's it.
We had burlap fire suits, and I didn't know this was our third desert race. Whenever we first started, and so I was shirtless underneath because I was like, man, I don't want to get hot on here. Nipples at the end of the Mint 400 were bleeding.
Dude, I believe it. Those things were rough. I remember when y'all washed them and they shrunk, and so they're about that far too short.
When you sat down, you got flooding pants on.
Yeah.
Dude, and they will scrub some skin off some nips. So then I learned you need to wear an undershirt. So I have to imagine it's got to be similar to getting them tattooed.
yeah, it feels like life jacket nipples. When you tube real hard,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
a cheap life jackets rub your nipples for so long all day. I call it life jacket
Not a
nipples.
neoprene one, but one of those like canvas ones. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Unfortunately,
Real good.
Coast Guard nipples, Coast Guard life jacket approved nipples.
Dude, what I was just telling y'all a minute ago is, so I'm trying to sell my Renegade on Facebook Marketplace, and dude, you know what that's like, man. Everybody, you've just got rid of your Renegade. You sold your Renegade not long ago, and we did it because we're all going to upgrade. We're all going to get new Renegades, and so the process that you go through on Marketplace, dude, and the crazy messages that you get. And I'm always nice to everybody. So when the first, hey, is it available? I always answer them, yes. I still have it. It's still available. And so they're like trades, and I tell them on the front side, like, I'm willing to trade for something, but it's got to be worth more than what my Renegade is worth, or I'm absolutely not interested. And it seems like every response is like, yeah, it's definitely worth more than that. And then,
yeah.
Everybody knows right now.
dude, and then the crazy things that they send me that to them is worth more than what my Renegade is. Like a dude the other day sent me a 86 Buick Regal Donk. And I'm talking about 26 inch. Bro, it is clean. It's all candy green.
Okay.
Like white leather interior. Gold wheels, like what anodized gold looks like.
Like sweet.
Yes.
Did
like
you consider it?
Yes. That was the first one that was like,
this is a possibility.
Man, this is definitely not worth more than my Renegade, but you got me enticed right now. I got to show y'all that picture, dude.
Yeah.
That donk was sweet. That's the first time I was like, oh, yeah, I would trade down for this thing.
Bro,
I tell
that'd be
him-
sweet.
I tell him, pop the hood. We got a 383 or bigger. What are we working with
That's
under
the problem.
hood?
It had like a 305,
Yeah.
like
You
oily
got a
305.
6-cylinder.
Hey.
They spent all the money on the appearance, and then you pop the hood, and you're like, bro, this thing ain't gonna get me to the bus
I'll
stop.
show no go.
Won't get me to the bus.
That's exactly what it was. That was a killer. If he had LS swapped that thing, for sure, I was coming home with a Buick Regal on 26s.
done
That'd be
that.
so sweet.
I'll be driving a donk to work every single day.
I mean, I don't blame you.
I don't either.
Street cred for days with a donk.
Everybody knows that. But today, the message that I got just a little while ago was this dude messaged me, and then he's like, sent me his number. He's like, hey, man, give me a call. Like, I want to buy it cash, asking price. And I was like,
Not going to try to negotiate with me.
who doesn't try to lowball somebody when they're trying to buy something?
Only the people, if it's right before a ride, and then they're like us, we're like, we got to buy something today. It's the only time.
That's fair. I've spontaneous bought.
And nice guys. I'm no good at none of that stuff. So I'm like, 42,000 sounds good. All right.
Matter
I'll
of
get-
fact, I really want it, so
43.
42.5, and I'll come today.
Yeah.
That's true. Josh does pay asking price
Dude,
for everything. And the extra keys for $650.
Oh, God.
Bro, Toyota got you.
And the ceramic coating for an extra $1,100.
Oh my
I mean,
god,
dude, Manny, I had Manny with me back then when we went over there, dude, and he was so mad. And I was like, don't do it, Josh, don't do it. Blah, blah, blah. Like just barking at me, and like Manny does, you know. And the salesman finally just quit listening to me. He looked directly at me, past Manny. He's like, Josh, are you gonna buy it or not? Like, just like put on blinders. It's like, I'm not listening to this dude anymore, because like we were good cop, bad cop. Like that was me and Manny's deal all the time. And obviously, I'm the good cop, you know.
I've never heard this, but
Me neither.
I can't believe. And he
God,
got you for all that.
Just for the
I can tell by your response, he got you for all of it.
The $650 key.
It's the key for sure. It's been 5 years, bro. I'm getting old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
All right, so you're not going to buy another vehicle unless me or D's with you.
No,
right?
sure.
For sure, we're the going in.
Let me tell you how you do that. You don't go to the dealership until they send you a buyer's order. Just see what they got, and then go back home and be like, send me the buyer's order. And then you just call them like, nope, pull this off. In person, they wear you down. They're trained for it. I swear. I've had buddies told me that. They said they're trained to keep you there as long as possible and wear you down, where you're just like, bro, give me the $50,000, $30,000 car
And let me
let's
out of
go."
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it's so crazy, man, because it's like, I've had this conversation with somebody not too long ago. The most important things in life, houses, vehicles, that kind of stuff, it's all negotiable. And like, you have to deal with the stress and the nonsense of it. It's like, if I go in the store and buy this thing,
That's true.
it's the price.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, man, it's just so much. It's like, why are the most important things? Kind of like your Social Security card. Why is that thing out of paper and not like hard plastic?
soon it like we got the kids laminated.
Yeah,
laminating the whole
Yeah.
paper.
Most important document that you can never have in your life. It's a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And to get another one, they're like, we got to have the old one.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm here.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Because I
You just don't
have
exist
that.
anymore.
No.
I didn't even think about that. If somebody asked me to bring my Social Security card or my birth certificate, I don't even know where that. I don't even know if my family has that anymore.
Oh, I know Miss Donna's got it somewhere, because
You
like
think?
I wasn't allowed to have mine until I was at least 35. When I moved down here, finally, my dad finally was like, "Well, you earned the right to have this thing now. You old enough."
Colin, you're a young man. Do you have your Social Security card and your birth certificate?
Have the card, don't have my birth certificate.
Your parents didn't trust you with that.
I have no idea.
Do you have the
More.
Do you have the original card or you have a copy of the card?
Original card.
Oh, you
Ooh.
do.
I had a copy, I think, until I bought my first house, and then all my files went with me.
Yeah, I put my Social Security card at the bottom of my birth certificate, that big blank spot, and scanned it, and I have a bunch of copies of it, and the originals are in a file cabinet, I think probably here. But I forget where I needed it for, and I got so pissed off, and they're like, you need this, and I'm like, where's that at? I don't even know where that's at. I've been my whole life.
Exactly, dude.
You know, that you are saying that my parents don't trust me at all.
I think I think when my dad gave it to me, I'm like, dude, he's just done. He's done with me. You know what I'm saying? He's like,
They don't even
good
care about me
luck.
no more.
He's like, into the world.
You're
Good luck.
free.
Yeah, good luck.
You're free.
I don't
you
care
fail.
about keeping up
I
with
love
that
you.
stuff anyways. I'm glad my mom did. I don't know.
That's
No,
true.
yeah, exactly. Like, I think it's kind of a loose cannon of Colin's parents, 23.
They don't love you.
Man, they're trying to set you up, bro, is all I'm saying.
But you're still at home, correct? Yeah, so when you get out of the house.
They sent all that stuff with me when I went to school there.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. Oh.
They just kind of cleaned their hands of you and was like,
figure it out.
When you went to college, that's the worst time to
Yeah,
get
literally never coming back with this.
Does that mean you were really responsible, or your parents were just like, "He's out of here, boy. Let's go"?
I think I'm responsible.
Oh,
It's that voice.
That's not interesting.
Or did they want to walk around the house naked and just have no reason for you to come back for anything?
yeah, yeah.
Try that one.
Did they give you your social security card because they wanted to walk around their house naked?
Is all your stuff out of the house? All right, cool. Give me the house key too.
Yeah, he has no reason to come back.
Wait, what?
No reason at all.
All right, if you're responsible, did you have a filing cabinet in your college dorm room? Did you go to college? Did you have a filing cabinet?
Not a filing cabinet.
So you had the bedside table with everything in it, including the leaking lotion bottle.
I got the drawers.
The important drawer.
No lotion
the
bottle?
the junk drawer.
There ain't no way. He had them in between
one
his.
still.
Oh yeah, everybody's got one. He had it in between his mattress and his box spring next to the nudie magazines.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the most.
You
safe
think it was a
place,
bookmarker?
Safest place you could
Bookmarker.
possibly put anything in between the mattresses.
You think he was using his social security as a bookmark and hustler?
Yeah.
Two of the most important things.
I want
right?
to reference this page. Let me put the birth certificate there.
We're coming back to
That's
the
a
twins.
good one. Let me put the social security card there.
His
Just
articles.
just laying in bed one night and you realize, like, bro, these were printed at the same time. You into classics?
Oh my God! So I don't know how we got off on that tangent, but now
Back to the Renegade.
I've got a message from a guy tonight that we're supposed to go meet. He was going to ask asking price. That's where we kind of
Yeah,
derailed.
my bad. That might have been my fault.
As at an asking price, he's like, "Man, I'll pay you cash. I'll pay you asking price." He's like, "Can you come meet me?" I was like, "Man, my time is valuable, so I'm gonna have to charge you to come meet you." He's like, "Yeah, I understand, man. It'll be a couple $100 for you to come meet me. I don't have my trailer. My buddy's gonna have to bring a trailer. I gotta borrow his truck." He's like, "So, just to make it easy for you, I'm gonna meet you in like a place where there's a big open field that I could start it and drive it, make sure everything's good." And I was like, "Oh, well, no, dog. Let me stop you there." Let me stop you now. There's going to be no test drives with the Renegade. It's bring me the cash. I'll let you start it on the trailer and hear it run. But there's going to be no test driving this thing.
What if you jumped on the back while he test drove it, and y'all just kind of
Just
Hugged
hold
it
on
out.
to him.
Pulled a hole.
Bro, he would be out there like a jet ski, just whipping it back and forth, trying to
Trying to
chump,
knock you off.
trying to
Trying to
chump me
whip
off.
him off.
But this ain't the first time that happened. And the reason that I was kind of wise to it is because just a few months ago, you were supposed to sell your Renegade in Jackson, Mississippi or something, right?
The dude, so yeah, there's a whole scandal they run. This is how smart they are. He sent from Cash App money to QuickBooks, and like I'm like, all right, yeah, how does he know that? Like he was a rapper. His Instagram had what 11 million followers or something.
Big
Holy
following.
cow.
11 million. Where like Cowboys got 4 million.
That's right. That's right. I remember.
So this dude had an Instagram, and like I'm like looking into all of it, and I told D about it. And he's like, man, I don't know. It just still seems suspect, even though his Instagram's got these following. Anyways, I was like, whatever. I don't care. I'll let him send the money, and if it clears, it clears. If it don't, it don't. So he sends our QuickBooks business account 40 grand for the Renegade and the X3. He
And the
wanted to buy the
X3.
X3. And sent me an address, looked it up on Google. He's like, yeah, it's my camp. It was a camp. Like, everything checked out. Everything. Sent me a picture of his license. Everything checked out. And then I was telling D, I was like, hold on, we called QuickBooks, and they were like, no, actually, it's not a ACH. It is a check. It's got to clear, even though it says it's posted and clear. Because, like, if you have so much money in your QuickBooks, I guess they cleared early. So they cleared it early, and we wouldn't have known unless we called that it can still get pulled back. And sure enough, 10 days. And he was like, hey, man, you got to meet before Sunday. It wasn't even 10 days. Like, he knew to the day when it was going to get pulled back.
The slick part is the dude wanted to pay on Thursday, and he wanted it dropped off
Sunday.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
And so it needed 3 business days to actual clear. So if he dropped it off, I think he wanted it Saturday morning or something because they were
Yeah.
riding, right? So he wanted to insisted on waiting until Thursday to pay, and then wanted it dropped off Saturday morning so they could go ride Sunday. And it would have kicked back Monday morning whenever it came in.
That's
And
when it did,
right?
Yeah, that's when it did. And I had talked to you. I was like, man, I think I'm gonna just go and F it, and like this. I've got this kid's license. Like, I'll hunt him down. I don't care. And
I believe that.
Oh yeah, 100%. I would. Oh yeah, he would have stole from the wrong one for sure. That whole camp, I'd hook my truck up to it. Gone. So yeah,
Are you talking the Dodge or the camp?
no,
being gone?
Both of
When you
them.
hook up.
Both of them right in that lake.
Sorry, I had to.
Which reminds me of a crazy story. We won't be able to say no names, but we'll tell you. We'll tell you.
I'm sorry to
story.
All
interrupt.
right.
Sorry.
So, anyways, yeah, he did it, and then I ended up like being like listening to D, and I was like, you know what? Nah, let's just wait and see what happens. As a matter of fact, he wanted to buy yours. It's the same dude I told you about
Yeah.
because his buddy.
Oh, it was.
Yes, it was like, let's do all three, and then
that's
you were
right.
talking with yours because me and DJ were talking.
You never know. Some people got that kind of money. Some people like,
do,
yeah.
but it was. I kept telling DJ, I was like, I'm out. Within 5 minutes of talking to him, I was like, bro, I've seen too many stories. I'm out on this
What
deal.
got
Like,
you? Was it the full asking price? Was it?
the Cash App to QuickBooks?
I know,
Like,
we
I'm
didn't
in sales.
know,
as much,
no, we didn't know it came from Cash App. I didn't know that.
There
until I
was
called QuickBooks.
something. There was something that he kept saying. It was like something to do with a. He wanted to do ACH through
QuickBooks.
This
He only wanted to pay
process.
QuickBooks,
Like,
and
he
I'm like,
only,
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if he's doing ACH, just wire the money. ACH has got to come out of an account, so just wire the money. Wire you can't take back. And that was it. That was it. I was like, I'm not doing this. Y'all, if y'all do it, sweet. Tell them to call me next. But I'm out on this deal.
well, ACH is a wire. It wasn't. It was an e-check. But it comes through QuickBooks and says ACH, even though it's not. And I told QuickBooks, I was like, y'all are misleading. Like, if this would have happened to me, my lawyer would have been calling y'all for sure because you're mislabeling this in your system and you're making it available. So, anyways, there's a whole ordeal with them. But now, for sure, it's not. Like you said, bank to bank, and the only time you can verify is bank to bank. And then they wanted to do it through QuickBooks because he said his recording company handled his accounting, and they have QuickBooks. And it showed on our end to come from another QuickBooks, but it was not. It was Cash App once we figured everything out. But they've got this figured out.
Dude, that's insane.
It's insane.
What's nuts is it was just a week or two ago. We were with somebody that said this happened to them, and they were a super nice guy. I can't remember. Maybe they were just with me. I don't remember where I was, but they said they were selling a dirt bike that they had also bought off the marketplace, but they bought it legit, and they were trying to buy something new, so like they needed the money, or they're trying to buy a new family car, and so dude was like, "Hey, meet me in a parking lot here. Let's meet at the Walmart. Like, I'll give you cash." And so it was like, all right, cool, no problem. So he said the dude pulled up and handed him an envelope and was like, hey, man, I'm going to take a test ride on this thing, make sure everything's good. He said he like took it down around the corner into the dark and took off. And he was like, waited for a while. And he was like, what on earth? Like, this dude's never not coming back. This is crazy. Well, it turned out the envelope was just cut up pieces of paper.
Oh, man.
The size of bills in it. And so the dude was like, well, oh, well, I don't care. I've got the money. He opened the envelope and it was just paper in the envelope that was cut into like I said, like cut in the size of a bill. So he's like, gosh dang it, this freaking dude got me. And so fast forward like 2 months, he said he found it back on Facebook Marketplace. And so he devised this plan to get his dirt bike back. And so he did the same thing to a dude. He set up this meeting. He got his homeboy to bring him and drop him off. The other dude was supposed to bring the trailer down the road. The guy that dropped him off wasn't supposed to leave until he had taken off on the dirt bike. And so, like, they pulled up. He got out. He was talking to the guy. Well, his buddy takes off in the truck. And he's like, hey, man, where's your buddy going? He's like, oh, I don't know. I think he had to use the bathroom or something. He's like, yeah, I'm not real comfortable with this, so I need to know what's going on. So the dude, like, hurried up, had to call his buddy. He's like, hey, you got to come back over here. You got my envelope in there, and this dude's trying to figure out what's going on. He's like, all right, so the dude drives back over there, gives him the envelope, and so they're sitting there, like, trying to exchange this and keep it cool, and so the dude, like, hands him the envelope and, like, grabs the dirt bike and runs and, like, bump starts it and takes off on it. Ends up getting his dirt bike back, but, like, it was coming apart trying to get it back, and then I was like, well, was that the dude that stole it from you, or is some other
Somebody
dude that had
else.
bought it? And he's like, I don't know. I didn't want to ask, but I needed my bike back.
I would have just went with a gun and I would have pulled it out and been like, this is mine.
Well, he had no paperwork on it. He didn't know the VIN on it. He had bought it from Craigslist. No title.
Oh, so he just stole it back. But would you get charged with a crime? If you couldn't prove it was yours, then yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Dude, that's going down a slippery slope. A couple things on this because this is
Is
a
that
lot
right
to-
or wrong?
You in this guy that tried to
tough.
try to buy your Renegade was in Mississippi,
No, South Louisiana.
South Louisiana. Okay, so like because when you were telling that story, I thought you were originally talking about like when that guy was trying to buy your
Street bike. Yeah, the street bike went to Mississippi. You remember you paid Jake to haul it to Mississippi?
I
Yeah,
lost, like,
and the guy tried to do some shifty stuff in the like an alley or whatever. Man, what's crazy is so there's that. That's crazy. That stuff always that happens to you because it's like insane. You know, like
We've recovered, I've recovered like 10 vehicles and dirt bikes and motorcycles and ATVs, like literally since I was probably 18.
Number
Makes
two,
no sense.
Common denominator.
Number two, as exciting as y'all talk about this, I can already see this happening. Like y'all need to get air tags.
Yes.
Go sell stuff to people. Let them, and they are kind of sketchy. Let them freaking do their thing, and then y'all say that.
I would go like the dude you're talking about meeting. Like I would go.
It.
Like people like that deserve to meet people like us because I'm the guy.
Yeah.
They're not getting away.
Yeah. Bro, that's funny you say that because Quinton's truck got broke into like a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow they knew all of his guns were inside of his truck.
Yeah, I remember that.
Knocked his back window out of his truck, stole all of his ARs.
$30,000 in that bag in thermal and gun, and I had 20,000 cash in the center console they didn't get to.
So it was so weird because they knocked the window out, grabbed the guns out, didn't go through the truck at all. They just took those guns and immediately left. So me and Quinton literally the next day was like, hey, bro, I got an idea. Let's take one of our gun bags. We took a razor blade, cut a slit in it, hid an Apple AirTag in there, put another Apple AirTag inside of a drink bottle that we like disassembled and hid it in the bottom of it.
Yeti cooler?
Yeah, inside the Yeti cooler in case they stole the cooler. We set all that stuff out for like 2 months and not a single person would steal it.
Didn't you do that recently here with like someone stealing your mail and you started setting it up?
No, yeah, there's a lot of theft going on. I got to get time and get cracking back down on theft recovery.
Dude, what's funny? It's like these thieves.
There's a lot going on.
These thieves are like a dog when you put a pill in their food. They know
won't
that.
eat it.
They know that pill.
They spit it out.
Yep, they
That's
know.
a good analogy.
You give them a piece of cheese with a piece of medicine. They're not eating that cheese.
No.
Take the medicine out.
Yep.
Give me that cheese.
Right.
Makes no sense. Makes no sense.
What's that stupid motorcycle group I got into it with? I think that's who broke into the back of my
Oh,
truck.
yeah.
They like I said, just grabbed the gun bag, and then Ezekiel jumped the fence, the dog, I think, and they didn't get up to my pistol or the cash in the center console. And I was like, thank God.
This is at your house?
Yeah, yeah. There was a Jordan shoe print on the bed of my deal. They just knocked out that center back window and got my gun bag out and didn't climb in the truck. They knew it would set the alarm off. I'm like, all right.
Dude, that's still a funny analogy. It's just like feeding a dog some medicine, bro. It makes no sense.
Dude, yeah, and with all the problems you have, and you setting all the booby traps on your mail and everything, and it just sits there. And like y'all saying with the guns,
At the house, I
like
had the cooler, the gun bag. I put it in the bed of my truck thinking like they were grabbing stuff out of the bed of the truck. Then I was like, after a month, I was like, they're not taking it out of the bed of the truck. I put it in front of my garage door, like where you can see it from the road. Never got touched. I put it up here behind the shop. Never got touched. I was literally going to drive my truck through their house when I found out where the AirTag was.
I believe that.
Couldn't get nobody to take the bait, dude. Tried. So, needless to say, tonight we're going to meet some guys with a Renegade. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds fun. I'm anxious to see the stories. Tonight, later on tonight.
They are not as fast as a hog or small of a target across the field.
No. We'll just take the spear with us, the hog spear with us, and just stand out there and.
That's what those people deserve. People like that's what they deserve, to run into people like us.
I know.
Dude, well, but that's the thing. You can't go in with intimidation. They gotta feel like they can get it over.
Got to feel
you.
comfortable.
So,
That's true.
So what you do is you send me and Colin, and y'all are watching, and then it's like, then they're like,
We got this.
Yeah, this is golden.
We got these
Yeah.
dudes. But somebody's going to have to bring him in another vehicle.
What we are to do, it would be really funny, is just flash a speed limiter on the four-wheeler with the tuning stuff.
To like 3 miles per
Yeah,
hour.
so it would only do like 12, like
Where it's
running
full
speed.
power until 3 miles an hour. It's a hard cut. Sends him over to the handlebars.
He goes, so long, you dumb.
And it's just creeping
Yep.
across the parking lot.
bro, no.
Dude, if you've seen those videos of those guys where they put the backpacks on the ground or the bicycles on the ground and pull that
Yes.
and tie that.
Tie a rope to the bicycle and they take
Oh,
off going.
yeah.
Dude, I don't know what rope they're using or what string because you can barely see it, but it will bring them fools from dead sprint to a stop when they steal those
And it
bags.
is
That's probably a real
freaking-
climbing rope.
Yeah.
Probably real.
Yeah.
And it's not the Walmart carabiners either.
No, but it is so. I'll get stuck on those videos, those reels, and just keep on flicking because I'm just laughing the whole time.
They deserve it. It's so satisfying.
Yeah, it's funny, and they're usually freaking. No, unfortunately, it's usually bums. They're like, "Oh man, I got a bike now. I can get around." Nope, you just lost your balls, bud.
Poor guys, too, man. They'll hit the end of that rope and they're eating that front tire, dude. Eating that front
And they
tire.
get up all gimpy, trying to get away.
Yeah. We should just start selling stuff on Facebook just to catch scammers. Like, we'll be the guys that pay it forward. You know what I mean? Of like, man, no problem. We'll sacrifice us to protect all these other
Scamming
people.
militia.
I don't feel bad
Vigilante
about it.
justice. I mean, like
We'll call Chris Hansen right now.
Yeah, at this point, y'all need like superhero names. You know, like Batman, Superman. Like if it's vigilante justice,
We got to start thinking of names.
It's got to be something long lasting. Like I'd want to be at the front of the truck and come around with a hook with my hand wrap and like knock all their teeth out of their mouth. That
they
way,
remember it?
every time. That's what. Yeah, for sure. If they're our age, but if they're 20 plus like we ran into
They're
with
grown.
these dudes, oh yeah, you're catching,
if
full
they have
force.
if they have their social security card,
yeah, they're on their
If
own.
they're old enough to have birth certificate and social security card, you losing teeth.
They got to pay. They got to pay. That'll be our first endeavor. Is we're just going to start selling everything we own on Marketplace and prevent other people from getting scammed. The second one is the video that I sent you, I think last night, dude. Of we got to start doing yard sales.
Oh, we've talked about this. That's crazy. It came up on your deal.
Yes, but just selling like really nice stuff. Like we'll literally gather stuff out of our house that we don't necessarily want to get rid of, but we're willing to at a price and just argue and haggle with these people over
And not sell anything.
and not sell
Just
nothing.
put it all back
I know,
inside.
that's
Dude.
funny. I remember we had that conversation in my house that time, and that was the thing was like, just no to everything. You know, act like everything's for sale for cheap, and then just like, no.
Look,
Nah.
Josh has got plenty of room in his garage, so
Yeah,
we'll just do them
plenty.
at his house. It's in a neighborhood.
His neighborhood already approves garage sales.
We saw that.
That one on the corner has one
That was
every.
weird.
Sometimes it lines up with every time we cook out your house.
Super weird. Super weird.
Yeah, I almost feel like it's hobos instead of a yard sale.
I don't even know. I still
Squatters.
ain't made heads or tails of it.
But we're talking about putting some nice stuff out there for reasonable price. And then the whole time be like, oh man, sorry, we marked that wrong. Like that's supposed to be way more than that.
I left a zero off of that.
Yeah, they're pulling shirts off the rack and like, hey, is this only $1? Oh crap. No, my bad. That's supposed to be on the $50 rack. And just give these people the run around on everything they can come by. Because you said you used to go.
We talked about our grandparents did the same thing. It was I was not a morning person. I'm still not. But we would get up at like 4 a.m. We got Southern made donuts. She'd give us money. We'd ride our bikes and go get them. And I'd stay at my grandma's on the weekends and stuff. My cousins and the uncle were over there. We were close in the same age. And yeah, 4 o'clock in the morning, be up. Donuts by 5, and then Mama would highlight all of the addresses that she knew would be good. Like I guess if she was evaluating the neighborhood or they'd had garage sales before. I don't know.
But on a legit map.
No, cause
Like an atlas.
No,
On
an atlas.
No, cause
Flicking out.
on
We got
the-
Shreveport Atlas right here.
on the newspaper. Yeah, maybe she did have an atlas to find it. I don't know. And what was funny is my grandma did not cuss, like unless she was really pissed off at us
Or yard selling.
or yard selling, and she saw other yard selling ladies.
Oh, yeah.
like it was competition, bro. I swear to God, she'd have number 1 on it, and we'd have to be at that place before daylight and like sitting there and waiting for them to open their garage or whatever. And my grandma would be like, "I knew that was gonna be here." Like, bro, she did not cuss, and we were in the back as kids just cracking up. We would get her wound up. We'd be like, "Yeah, Mama, was that so and so?"
Is that Debbie's? Is that Debbie's?
Yes,
minivan?
she would know.
Oh,
Is that Gladys?
Yes.
Gladys showed up today?
Yes, she knew their names. They garage sale together, and like, yeah,
I knew I smelled some stank from all the way over
It
here.
was so funny, dude. It was the craziest thing. But you said you went garage selling with your mom or your grandparents too, right? Did
Dude,
y'all ever?
Oh yeah.
No,
no.
we went to the flea market out off of like Greenwood.
Yeah,
Oh,
we took
yeah.
up
my
flea,
grandparents.
yeah, flea markets when I was a kid, and then when we got older and moved out, like in our 30s, my mom, she, they needed stuff to do, as getting older and stuff. So her and my stepdad got pretty hot and heavy in the yard selling, and that was the thing. Like you were saying, the exact same thing. It was a little community of yard
Now,
sellers.
Dustin's
and
family?
they are it's a battle,
They get down.
Yeah.
with
they
it.
get down,
And Mama Grandma would remember which houses had garage sales before and had sucky stuff when we went to go. And then the estate sales I knew were always going to be the good ones. I told you what we did as kids. We were mischievous. Watching my grandma haggle, well, we knew, like, if we thought something was a deal, we wanted a toy, we would bring it to Mama, and she'd be like, no, if they'll take this, I'll do it. We already knew that. So I would just, as a kid, take it to whoever was running the garage sale. And, they're looking at you like a little crazy kid, like, quit touching stuff. And I'm like, hey, will you take this for it? And if they'd tell me no, I'd pull back the sheets on the stuff you weren't supposed to buy, and I'd put it behind the sheets so no one could get it. And then I would take stuff out from behind the sheets they weren't selling and put the sticker price tags on it. Oh, my grandma. Yeah, and like whole family photos. Me and Jamin would be, dude, we'd be laughing so. You knew you'd do something with your friends so mischievous you couldn't even run away if you had to get away. You were laughing so hard. We would take whole family photos off the wall from behind the sheets where they had stuff covered up, and we would put the price tags on like a whole family photo in the frame.
Dude, you know who would buy that family photo? My mom, because she'd buy all these old 1800, early 1900 photos and like put them all around her house, and we would come stay. Like I'd come home for Christmas to stay with her. I'm like instantly like,
who's those people?
Yeah, like,
we're just random old folks.
I'm like, random people like they look freaking crazy, and you're like, oh, no, my mom's house now is haunted, for sure.
Was it the pictures like they didn't even smile? Like they were
some of them, yeah, some of them like that, yeah. If she went to a yard sale or something like that, so like, we might need to cross-reference some of those photos and see if they are the ones that you put stickers on.
Bro, we'd be laughing so hard.
Gosh, Mom and Brandy and they do those yard sales all the time. Like, are they out there haggling over 35 cents?
Oh,
I
Miss
wouldn't
Donna
say 35 cents, but like
Miss Donna is.
They
for
have an
sure.
operation going on.
Do they?
Like I think we made like $700 or $800 a couple weeks ago just off of stuff. Just
On
Stuff you would
Saturday?
never miss. Never know what's missing out of your
like
house.
I told Kristen, get all this crap out of the house. Like we don't need it. Put it over there at your parents. And they do it like once every few months.
Yeah, often.
We made like $700 or $800 on our stuff.
I'm trying to figure out how my parents got so much stuff to yard sale all the
Bro.
time.
That's what
I don't know.
Do they buy other stuff or they
I don't
just,
even know. Like we take stuff over there, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have a garage sale in 2 months. Y'all just bring over whatever you want to." I'm like, "I'm bringing over a ton of crap."
Are my parents taking like 20% or something?
I don't know.
They're not there. Y'all aren't doing
where's
no
their
inventory
cut?
list.
No, where's their cut for storage?
Yeah.
yeah.
Is
it's like-
Mom paying you at the end?
yeah.
Oh yeah, she's
And
taking
is she
off the
going?
top.
Yeah,
Is she,
yeah,
is
which
she
is
going?
okay with me because the crap's gone.
I think it's about 700. Yeah, I kept up with.
Yeah, it was actually $950, but I took $250 of that for
She's for sure
storing your
taking
junk here for 2 months.
Well, do you and Kristen pick each other's stuff of what goes, or do you pick your stuff and she picks your
I
stuff?
hide my stuff that I don't want to leave, and I tell her like, "Hey, this has been in the garage for 3 months. Get it out of here."
I believe that.
No, I'm hiding my stuff. It's in the attic. She's not going up there.
Kristen's like, "What's in this box? Not that one. Nope, that's Christmas decorations."
That's just old tax stuff. I need to hold
tax.
that
That's
receipts.
paperwork.
We got to
Receipts and
keep
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. There's W-2s and stuff in
Yeah.
there. Leave that alone.
Dude, I say now that we got grown up money and like we work for a living, we go yard selling one weekend and just outbid everybody whenever they walk up there and it's like, hey, this thing says $3, but would you take one? Be like, nope, I'll give you $5 for that.
$5 right there.
Dude.
And of course they're gonna be like, yeah, you can have that. And just get everybody mad.
It sounds fun, but like,
You think something's gonna get serious?
yeah. Well, listening to you talk and knowing my mom's stories, them yard sales, they passionate.
Yeah.
And they passionate about
No.
getting something. When they want it, when it's the right price, man, you start messing with them like that, ain't no telling what's
Yeah.
going
You think we're gonna be mingling with other generations, right?
Yo, for
because my
sure.
grandma would cuss some little kids out
yeah,
at these
for
garage
sure.
sales when they
Dude,
was acting wild. Yeah,
the-
like she didn't cuss, but she would.
The ones at Dustin's mom's house, like they put all their stuff out there because they'll do it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they'll put everything out on Thursday night. Well, you got people pulling in at dark on Thursday. Like,
Yep.
we're gonna put this behind the bushes. We'll be back in the morning.
What?
And Donna's like, whatever. You better be here in the morning because we're gonna put it back out. It's dark, and they're in the driveway with the lights on
Yep.
at 5:30 in the morning.
Yes.
What do they do with it? Like, is this like something like, oh my, I know the perfect place in my house for this, or is it like, oh, this is a good price for this. This is sweet. I'm gonna resell it at my swap meet or something.
It better be on Facebook Marketplace the next day.
Yeah, like what's the is there? Or it's
What's
like,
the
I've been-
appeal?
Yeah, the covenant.
I think it's the rush.
I
I
think,
think it's the rush of the garage sale. Just like Quinton said, his grandma, would mark all that stuff down. They don't do that anymore. They just drive around or Facebook or whatever. But, dude, I mean, there'll be 20 cars in front of Dustin's parents' house.
Yeah,
Like, what are y'all doing?
But my parents do live in a really nice neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And
So
their
they-
freaking yard sales, bro,
Yeah.
they be
They're
selling-
big. There's some
they
good
be
stuff.
Yeah, well, I
Like,
imagine.
I walk through and I'm like, what? Can we trade? Can I trade some of my crap for your crap? And like, we'll just work this out.
Dad, just to give you a perspective, Dad had one of their campers in a yard sale and sold it for like 25 grand to some
Holy
dude that
freaking
came
cow.
up and bought the camper and then bought like a $4,000 four-wheeler.
No,
Dude.
your parents were having a swap meet.
Yeah, they have the flea
Hey.
market swap meet at their house.
I promise you.
You had to
I
have a
promise you
certain
that
credit
neighborhood-
score to go to theirs.
I promise you, they got the best trick or treat candy up in that place.
Well,
Gotta
my parents
be.
be giving out full candy bars,
Yeah,
dog.
Yeah, full Snickers.
Yeah, they go to Sam's and get the big boxes and put them out on the porch and trust kids to grab one.
Just take one now.
That's how my parents get down. So their garage sales are definitely a little different,
That's
I
what
think.
yeah, I definitely want to go to that. I might take about $20 with me. Try to
You ain't
20
gonna
bucks.
get
ain't-
much.
You ain't
Not
gonna get much at my
there.
parents' yard sale.
candy bar, something. Oh, well,
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm so
talked
down
about
with
it.
that.
well, we got 2 weekends. The third weekend from now will be the one where we're all in town, right? So let's do it Saturday morning because that's where they hold out for. Is Saturday morning is the big one.
Get up so early. Where do you find out about yard
The
sales
newspaper.
now?
Well,
No, it's
Let's
not
see if-
newspapers. It's freaking Facebook.
Let's see if they're still listening.
Neighborhood groups now, and then little signs at the corners.
well,
Like
I
at the
bet
corner
people
by
still
Berkshires
listen to the
and stuff.
newspaper. Let's do a comparison then. We'll mark some down in the newspaper and we'll make a Facebook list and see which ones are better.
Yeah, that's
I didn't
true.
know they still made
Everyone-
a newspaper here.
Everyone you pull into though, you gotta come in hot and just slam the brakes,
Screech the
slide
tires.
and jump out
Yes.
and get into the yard sale as fast as possible. You know, like just
Run.
let them know
Because they
that you
do.
were there.
They'll pull up, rut up the grass. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit wet.
Gosh,
They're rutting the
dang
grass
it.
up, which ticks me off more than anything. Don't mess up my grass. And then they'll run up and just start, kind of elbowing into the stuff on the tables.
Oh my dude.
So do we all for daylight break, land rush start? Do we go to 5 or 6 different ones at 5 and FaceTime each other and just see how the
Yes.
first 5 o'clock is at every house, and then
But-
we'll meet back up and do all the rest of them together?
But talk as loud as you can over everybody else is sitting there.
Like
and
when
try to FaceTime.
When they're
the
looking
whole
at
time.
something, be like, "Dee, do you want this?" With
Yeah,
their whole
excuse me. Let me show my friend this.
But and then every so often, like when you're around all the other people, when in the FaceTime, somebody on the other line's got to be like, "This is the best yard sale I've ever been into.
Yes.
This is amazing. It's over on 1200
On speakerphone.
Yeah, on speakerphone where everybody's like listening in, like, oh dang, all right.
Draw over everybody to the
Yep.
worst one.
Where did
Yep.
you say that was?
All right, all right.
Such a good idea.
Yep.
In
Or to
case-
a neighborhood that doesn't have anything going on.
Right.
Yes, whichever one of us gets to the worst yard sale has got a call on a group chat on speaker. Like, bro, you got to get over to Yuri. This is the one you got to be at. They got washers and dryers for $12, and they got like 6 of them.
And it's hooked up running right now.
Or do we say it's like right around the corner, and they're like, "How do we not know about that one?" And like just watch them get in their car and go around the corner.
Watch them start walking off, looking over their shoulder.
Dude, that'd be hysterical.
I like that strategy. Let's add that to the list of one of the free weekends that we have to go.
Just speaking of
don't
free
have
time
many.
on our hands, let's
Yeah.
go do that.
We don't have many, but that would be fun. That would make good stories. Probably end up getting a fist fight at somebody's house for sure.
With a nanny.
Speaking of fist fights, I don't think most people know. Actually, probably a lot of people know because Josh did a really nice video on it. Quinton is now what would you consider it? Semi-professional?
Well, I mean,
Amateur?
I pay to go to the gym,
So not quite professional
and I
yet.
had to pay with donating blood for this one. So
Yeah. So Quinton's I guess an amateur pro-am boxer right now.
And just because you had to pay, I mean, you had to pay to get into the desert races, and you're still a pro.
That's true.
So
That's true. So maybe we'll call him a pro.
Yeah.
I have to pay to enter also.
there was no ROI on my end.
Well, there was a little. There's some street cred.
yeah,
Yep.
lots of street cred.
You never know what it might turn into. We're still exploring endorsement opportunities
Yep.
after the performance.
So let me summarize a little better because we just jumped right into it. But every year is Battle of the Badges here in Shreveport, Bossier area. And basically what that is the fire department have all of their guys from all the local area fire departments that will team up with all of the police departments, and those guys fight each other. And it's like for a fundraiser or something.
It's
like what is it
all
for?
it's all organizations to do with the police and fire. Like most of them, like maybe something happened to them on duty. Like it's all stuff like that. Like in the line of duty, from what I understand.
Yeah, so there's a percentage of the ticket sales and stuff like that goes to help our local police and firemen, which is great. So let's just say one of the police departments said they didn't want their policemen fighting the fire department because they didn't want that animosity between them. And so some of our friends are actually running the Battle of the Badges here, or helping with it, or a big part of it. And they knew that Quinton is quite a fighter.
quite an entrepreneur of the
Doesn't
of
have
arts.
the professional record, however,
But
the off the record record.
Yeah, his exhibition matches
Yeah.
are on up there.
It's
Doing
like
pretty good for the win column.
It was the all the ring girls had been out partying, and then they'd seen me get into several bar fights. So they were like, when they were like, "Hey, we're opening up this year. We don't have enough people to entering because the police and fire on this city said they don't want to do it this year." And so they opened it up and called us volunteers. And so there was a bunch of
Not
people-
volunteers. It basically said it was cops versus convicts for
Yes.
this Battle of Badges.
yeah.
And they saw Quinn's Facebook picture with a neck tattoo, and they're like, "Oh,
Bingo.
Yeah, he'll go to that side.
yeah, he's gonna be on the convict side." So, So he called me the other day. It's been a few weeks now, and then maybe a month before that. So it's been a month and a half ago. He called me. He's like, "Hey, dude, I'm gonna fight in a boxing match." I was like, "What?
Right?
Like real?" He's like, "Oh yeah, yep. I'm already signed up. So we got to start training."
Dude, just out of nowhere. That's the thing about Quinton. Everything is out of nowhere. It's nothing like, oh man, like me and you have these like really drawn out, long, extensive 2-month long conversations about like, man, should I spend another $50 on this? Like just nonsense stuff. That's like, this dude's like, oh yeah, gonna fight.
Yep, got a fight coming up.
They asked me.
Yep.
Had to say something. So I said, yeah.
I talked to you 2 hours ago. You were just chilling, and now all of a sudden you got to fight.
Yeah, now you're a boxer. But the process was fun. Like we got in the gym, we got to work out together and prepare him for that. But the funniest part was he called me Sunday morning, and this was the week before his fight. And so I know he had gone out that night, and I didn't. I forget where I was. Maybe I was at the AquaX race. I think I was at the AquaX race. But he called me and he's like, "Man, I think I'm for sure ready for my fight." Because as you like train and you learn head movement and you learn to parry punches and like slip and throw counters and stuff, like you get more and more comfortable. You're like, all right, cool. I'm starting to figure this rhythm out. I'm like, I get the mechanics of this. And so those couple of days, which we're a week out from his fight, he's like, yeah, man, I'm feeling good. Like he and I had sparred pretty heavily like that week prior to coming into it. And so he called me Sunday morning. He's like, yeah, man, I can tell you I'm definitely ready for my fight. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I did some preparation last night.
I had to do a little test run.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean preparation? He's like, you remember that roll under overhand right that we were practicing in the gym Thursday? I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I dropped somebody with that last night. I'm like, what?
Naturally.
What? You're a week out from your fight and you're fist fighting. People's like, yeah, but I beat the same dude up 3 different times.
Dude, that's the craziest thing. Have you heard this, Logan?
I haven't heard that
This
one.
is freaking absurd.
Dude,
Doubt it.
I'm not exaggerating. It was Saturday night, and he fought Battle of the Badges the next Saturday. So they like just went out hanging out, and it was supposed to be like his coast week. We'd finished all sparring.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a little cardio, like a little pad work, but just chill. And my boy calls me Sunday with that, and I'm like, what? What is going on? He was so proud of himself.
Yeah, you know, he went out that night with I've been prepping for a month, and I want to really know.
Oh yeah.
Did the prep work?
Oh yeah, he was naked.
Look at me the wrong way. Just
Yeah.
please look at me the wrong way.
He was naked in the
Yes.
mirror, slipping and throwing
Yeah.
counter punches.
Yeah.
Flexing. Take my cooler. Just take my cooler right now. I dare you.
But tell him how it happened, because you ended up beating the dude up 3 times, right?
Yeah, it was three separate times. But
It's kind of weird. The last time I went out
I'll
with
just
Quinton,
say
this was
this.
quite a while ago. I think he beat the same dude up 3 times that night too.
Oh, at the casino.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It was 3 times.
Yeah.
But tell him pre-fight preparation what that looked like that night.
Oh, yeah. So we were sitting in the club. We were in VIP. My buddy had bought it, and like you got 3 or 4 bottles in there. Everything's paid for already. And some dude, I see him turn his hat backwards, and he spins around. And it's one of my buddies that can fight. And I see him spin his hat around, so I hopped up, and I was like, "Hey, man, what happened?" He exchanged words with some guy, and he was like, "He told me to make him a drink," and I was like, "Really?" And I was like, I was like, well, our back's to him. So I was like, all right, it's close to the end of the night. Like, people are licked up. They act crazy in the bar. So I was like, let me go talk to him. So I go talk to him, and it was like this big, athletic black dude. Like, he's like 6'4". Like, I was like, all right. I was like, hey, man, like, what's your deal? Because we were with a bunch of girls, and, like, it always ruins the night. So I was like, what's your deal? Like, what's going on? He's like, he started hopping around, bouncing around like real crazy in the bar. And I was like, bro, we'll give you a drink. Like, it's already all paid for. It don't even matter. And I don't know. He kept mouthing around. Then he told me, he's like, you know what? You make me a drink. And I was like, no. I was like, all right, look, man, I'm going to give you one pass on that. And then next time you say something crazy like that, like, it's going down. He didn't get another word out of his mouth. And I cracked him with overhand right. And he went to the ground, and he caught me with a right, like, or something on the way down, because my lip was purple and swollen the next day.
That's the first time I ever seen you have any kind of damage.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't know when it happened. The only thing
And
I
I
can
wouldn't even
remember-
notice it. I wouldn't even notice it if you didn't point it out. You know?
He caught me with a right on the way down. We went to the ground. I hit him a couple times on the ground. Then we're at my buddy's bar, and they break us up, and they're like, you can't fight in here. Like, take it outside. So I was like, all right. Like, I knew they were kicking the dude out, so I walk outside, and he comes out with his shirt off on his face. And I was like, what on earth? He pulls his face down. His lips split from the bottom of his nose all the way to his teeth. You can see his gum and everything.
Oh.
And I was like, are you done? He was like, no, we're finna fight 1-on-1. Ain't nobody gonna do me like that. Because it dropped him, put him on his butt when I hit him. And I was like, all right. I was like, don't throw that big overhand right, because I'm going right under it again. He literally walked out in the street and did the same thing. Like, I feinted at him, and then he threw the big overhand right, and I just went right under him and boom, caught him again. And it sat him down on his butt on the concrete. And his buddy was behind me. And his buddy was like, no, man, he's done. And I was like, all right, cool. And then he gets up and he's like, no, we got to go one more time. And I was like, all right. I said, don't do that overhand right again.
I know
right
what you're going to do.
Don't do it again.
Sure enough, big overhand right. I mean, it was like slow motion. Just right under it. I was like, boom, caught him with a big, and that one laid him all the way out. And then the girls started screaming and freaking out, and we started looking around like I got blood all over me. It blew his mouth open, and blood was on all the girls and everybody off to the side of him. And so they're like freaking out. I was like, all right. And then he got up, and I was like, hey, man, you need to take your boy to the hospital. Like, if they don't sew that up tonight, like, for sure, it's life
Yeah,
change.
it's gonna be a scar. Good one.
Yeah, and so his buddy was the dude. Just after he got up off the ground the third time, he just dead sprint across the parking lot like lift.
That's that adrenaline dump I was talking about.
Same.
He didn't even know what to do, just ran.
run away
Fight
from it.
or flight. I'm gone.
I really did think the dude was going to be able to get down. I was like, man, he's athletic. Like, all right, this is going to be a fight. No, he had already had so much to drink. Like, he was just just big hand. That was it. And then come to find out, I see my buddies like a week later, and they were like, dude, that was crazy. They're like, I was telling everybody about it, yada yada, and they're like, do you know that dude, when he ran across the parking lot, he went to the strip club across the parking lot and beat up 3 dudes in the parking lot. They said they went because I went home. I was like, all right, I'm done. Like, my nights, I'm over it. I went home. It was like 4 a.m. They went to the strip club, and they said as soon as that fight was over and I got my truck, they walked to the strip club, and that dude was in the parking lot and beat 3 dudes up in
Just
the
wearing
parking lot.
people out.
Yeah, like he had to have a win that night.
Dude.
I know the mistakes I was making, so I'm not throwing
He
the
probably
right.
told them, don't throw that big overhand right.
You see what happens when you do?
Bro, it couldn't have worked out more perfect, because Thursday before I left town, like, our game plan, and it's like Battle of the Badges, these guys don't have a ton of training. You know you're going to come out and try to knock your head off. So we were literally training, slip the overhand right, come right up the middle with a straight right hand.
But now, I will say this, though, man, like, because Quinton's was interesting because his guy was a volunteer as well.
Yeah.
And he was a boxer.
Yeah, he actually had several fights, right?
Yeah, so they had me lined up to fight a kid that was a firefighter that had never fought before. And like, I probably had 200 street fights probably since I was a kid. And then, fought mixed martial arts and stuff all through high school and college, gym to gym stuff. And so they lined me up this, and I was talking to Dustin. I was like, man, I don't think it's a good matchup. Like, I want something that's a fight. I don't want to go out there. Like, there's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no nobility in that. Like, I'm like, nah. So anyways, we go over to their gym, and the kid's in the ring at the other gym just so happens the guy I'm matched up with. And I was like, oh, dang, he moves good to never fought before. Like, I was like, all right. Well, I still outweighed him by 20 pounds weigh-in day. But before that, the girl that knows us over at the gym, I come to find out, called the organization when they found out who he was fighting. She went to school with me, and she was like, yeah, this is not a good matchup. Like, the fight experience is way too off. So they swapped my fighter, and I didn't find out till the week of or a couple days before, which didn't matter to me. They swapped me to a boxer out of Monroe that apparently has been boxing for like 15 years or something.
Yeah.
I think I would have lost the fight had we not gone to the gym the 4, 5, 6 weeks before, just on technique and pointing. He wouldn't have knocked me out or nothing like that, but I think I would have lost it on points had we not worked on everything we did in cardio. Because it was for sure a way tougher fight than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, ended up being a
For him, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He came off, come to find out, because he was being weird. He was being weird at weigh-ins, and then real standoffish, and then he had come off a loss. And so I'm pretty sure he was coming into the fight thinking he was going to get a cop or a firefighter and get an easy win and a confidence booster because of what his coach said afterwards in the locker room. They asked me, what's the deal? Like, do you fight or something? I was like, I have a lot of fight experience. I said, I've never boxed before. And because, I kind of dog walked him around the ring for 3 rounds and then almost got the knockout the third. So
I'm a semi-professional amateur tattoo artist.
But it was a way tougher fight than I thought.
When stuff happens, when you see with your own eyes, like you have your take on what happened. Like that's anything. Like 3 sides to every story.
Yeah.
When I cut the video, like watching over and over again, and it was legit a really good fight.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple times watching, I'm like, man, like because would y'all split both rounds, split the first 2, and then you won the third?
No, first round was me, second round was me, and third round was me. The
Yeah, it was-
second round,
So you won all three.
the second round, there's sections you get pointed on, right? So D probably knows better than I do. It's the judges told me. I asked the judges like how they scored it, and they said all 3 rounds won. But on the second round, I got outpointed on punch count only, but I still run the round overall for the other categories. And that doesn't mean that he landed the shots either. It's just volume. And so but the second round was close. We treated it as if I lost it on point on.
And I told you did. Like
Yeah.
I told you, which I was confident he had won the first round. You moved really good in that, and it was a really technical match. Like most of the matches that night between firemen and policemen that have never fought before,
Just banging.
They just freaking go in there head down, just throwing windmills. But Quinton and that dude looked like a genuine boxing
Dude,
match.
it really did. And even watching the video, it's like, and even the announcer said it. Like, I think after the second round, they were like, "Man, we got a great boxing match. Y'all like give it up for these guys." Like, it was good. Like
the cell phone video that you sent from
I'm gonna
like
post
second
it,
floor. Like I watched it and I was like, man, like can't tell.
It was close, right?
enough, but like they look like they're moving right. And
Yeah, dude.
popping each other pretty good. But then when you watch Josh's, I was like, good Lord. Like you could tell you put some work in it for sure. Both
Yeah.
of y'all looked like y'all were doing what you trained to do.
Yeah, watching the video, for sure, my shots had more power on them and seemed to stun him more. And then you can't tell in the cell phone video, but I slip and barely miss a lot of his punches. And when you slow it down, you see him. But in the cell phone video, like, man, did he get hit? Did I not get hit?
Yeah.
And then, but even though I was landing shots on him, like, he didn't fall apart like most people do and start making mistakes. Like, he kept his hands up, he was covering his body up, and then he had good hooks. And like there were in your video, he caught me on a body shot and came back up to the head real fast. Like, he technically moved, I think, better than me. I think his
throwing
stance
good
and
combos.
Yeah,
for
his
sure.
stance and movement looked real boxing technical compared to my fighting style, trying to cross over from being square and not bladed. So yeah, I think he technically looked better. I think if he would have, I don't know, I wouldn't say take the fight more serious, but I think if he'd have been better cardio shape, it would have been a really close match.
I thought it was a good fight, and I told myself whenever you cornered me, like it's 3 minute-and-a-half rounds, so there's not much time to get stuff done.
Yep.
But it's hard to prepare, for that adrenaline dump. And so even if you got good cardio and you've trained hard, it's like you can absolutely wear yourself out. You learn that in sparring. So I was like, all right, I gotta be honest with Quinton whenever we go into these rounds. I gotta shoot him straight because we only have so much time to win this fight. And you are fighting in like 16-ounce gloves or something
so
like
heavy.
that. So
Dude.
it's gonna be really hard to get a knockout. And so after the first round, I was like, all right, I don't want to push him anymore because I don't want him getting gassed. I want to make sure he's got something in the tank. And I felt good about the first round. And after the second round, I told him, I said, all right, dude, this is it. Like, the fight, you lost that round.
Yeah.
And I wasn't 100% sure that you did. I didn't necessarily feel that you did, but I didn't want there to be any question.
Yeah.
So it was too close for me to tell you, like, all right, bro, just coast in the third.
Yeah.
Like, you got it. No, I was like, hey, you lost that one.
Lay it out there.
dude, when
You
I
lost that round.
watching it live and filming it, like going in the third round, I thought for sure it was 1-1.
I did too. I did too.
Like I thought, because it was a great fight. It
Yeah.
wasn't like crazy haymakers. It was good technical. And it's like, man, I think Quinton got him a little more on the second round. I think it was. In the first round, I was like, man, I think he got Quinton a little.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like he was landing or hurting you because I was standing
Point
there, so
scoring.
I saw
Yeah,
you slipping.
point scoring, exactly.
It was his activity was only he didn't land more than you. Like, you slipped so many of them, like good head movement. But he was just super active, dude.
Yep.
So he was throwing a lot of punches. So I was like, man, how is that going to be perceived? Is that are they going to get him on just volume
Activity.
Yeah, just on how active he was. But ended up winning out. You won a unanimous decision on the thing.
Which is awesome. Congrats again, man. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Super sweet.
Yeah, that was
Against a boxer, man. Like it wasn't like you were in there freaking
Yeah,
punching on me and Colin or anything.
it's a way better win if they were like, could you fight him like a firefighter? They're like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, people know I've been in a
We've
bunch
seen you
of
knock
fights.
out a bunch of them. So
Yeah, I've been in a bunch of fights, so it's not him boxing and actually ours being a good looking match. That was way better of a win than the other.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's awesome.
I'm gonna keep taking them though. I was gonna take that smoker, but I may have to have surgery on my elbow for DH hitting me with a bowling ball years ago. So
Do y'all remember that?
No.
Dude, I don't
I had the picture in my phone where D is like laid on us, passed out or something.
Yes. Yes.
That night when
he
you
was
get to the bowling ball.
asleep.
Like you were laying on the floor
Oh.
or something, and Dustin like threw the bowling ball. Or,
Yeah, and it hit my elbow. You're right. It was on the floor somehow doing something.
what on earth? I don't know anything about
Oh,
it.
let me tell you what happened.
Where were we?
We were at Holiday Lanes.
okay.
D had 2 Long Islands.
Okay.
And fell asleep. And it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Like it wasn't even late. And passed smooth out. I don't remember. I remember you getting hit because I remember it was swollen.
It
But I
split
don't-
it open. It split it open.
But I don't remember. I just remember him pass smooth out because we all took pictures around him and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And he was snoring. He looked like he'd been smoked. And
What was it
knocked
for?
out.
What were we doing? Was it just a weekend bowling? That
Like we were
weekend
just
for-
out having fun.
It was right before we went.
Shane was in town. Did we do a pit bike ride or something? And then we all went bowling like the next
know.
night or something?
So like in the pictures, it was us, DJ, Manny,
Okay.
Kristen was there.
Yeah, it was a big
I've got the
group.
photo.
So
I'll send it to y'all.
it was our group, you know. But I don't remember it being anything special. But yeah, I don't know how we went bowling.
But you remember him getting hit in the elbow
Yeah.
like that, huh?
Yeah.
Well, apparently, and we're just deducting this. We're no doctors, but like when he works hard and like bangs in the gym quite a bit, like it will start getting some fluid on his elbow. Well, when he moves it around or starts trying to drain it, like it makes him want to pass out, and so it just started getting worse because it was swelling. You got to see the videos. We'll have to put the videos of him draining it.
Yeah, I saw about 1.2 seconds of that, and I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Does it look like your video of you draining it at Glamis?
Not the same, but it's leaking. Like,
like
he's
that?
squeezing.
Yeah, it's just. Let's see
ain't-
that thing and pull that thing out again.
Oh, it's way down. I drained
yeah, I can
I
see
drained
it.
like 30 cc's off of it with a syringe.
Jeez,
Like
dude.
pulled a bunch.
So
of
you're
syringe.
stabbing it in there and pulling it?
Yeah, see the red mark where it like.
Oh, I mean, I see the freaking giant ball on your elbow.
But
That's after there was a golf ball like this was hanging down here, and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm thinking to drain this.
Go ahead and milk that thing real quick.
Yeah, look at that
I'll stab
elbow
it
udder
right
you
now.
got.
I'll
Let
stab it
Logan-
right now.
Logan
We'll heat
get a
the needle
shot.
up.
elbow udder. And so we deducted every time he messes with it or like moves it around, it makes him want to pass out. And so I was like, Landon broke his elbow or something playing baseball, and it was the same thing. Like if you touch it or he bumped it, it would like get him queasy and go to pass out. And he had like a floating piece of bone in there. So
There's
we're like,
definitely I can feel it in there. When I was squeezing it, draining it, I can feel something rubbing around. Like
Clicking
it's hard.
around.
It's hard, yeah.
I can see that, man. I went. I used to hunted a little bit with a veteran that was wounded, and he got shot in his arm, and like it didn't go through the bone, I don't think, but like he had a real bad skin graft and all that stuff. And there was something about him, like if you just touched him, like anywhere on his back or on his shoulders, like it would send him into
Really?
this crazy thing. So something happens to your system, when
yeah, like your nervous system
Yeah.
that shocks you then when you touch it.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, you're saying my nerves don't know what happened after I got hit with a 12-pound bowling ball in the elbow.
Speaking of getting shot, dude, that's one. There's 3 things that I randomly, only one of them I want to happen, but I want one of these 3 things to happen before. We'll call it 4, but one is kind of the same. Before I die, I want to get shot in somewhere where it's not like,
Extremity, not lethal shot.
yeah, like maybe
Yeah.
through the shoulder,
Just a burn.
Yeah, maybe through my calf where it doesn't leave a gnarly scar, but there's just like a sweet bullet hole. So I
Yeah.
either want to get shot, bit by a poisonous snake,
Nope.
and live, with no like rotted out flesh or nothing, or get bit by a shark.
Ooh, the sharks never end up good.
That's what I'm worried about. I've seen some cool scars where I'm like, oh, that's sweet, like
Yeah.
straight shark. But then you get them where it like tear the whole side
Yeah,
off.
take
So
the
I'm
back
like,
of your leg off
Yeah.
and you don't have a calf anymore.
Yeah, so that's where like the slash 4th one comes in. Is like I would settle for a big alligator bite. Like if you grabbed hold to your
An
arm, I
alli-
could.
Nope.
An alligator bite would be better than the shark bite.
That'd be
I think
Those
so, too.
videos on my stream where the fishermen are like, I'm going to take the hook out of his mouth, and the shark grabs their fingers or something, bro.
Gone.
It's not like it gets twisted off. Like just one chomp, their teeth are so sharp, and the way your, finger goes in between them and the underlap,
Yep.
it's just gone.
But with that being said, like let's limit the damage, and it's like, all right, you got it. Hear me out. You got a 4 foot, 3 foot
Alligator.
alligator
Or shark.
or shark, both either one, and then you put your arm out,
Yeah.
and then your buddies are holding it and put it up to you, and then clack,
Yeah.
and then pull it off, rather than being out in the ocean and waiting for a shark to come bite you. Then they get a little tiny little shark and with his little mouth.
Yeah.
There is no clack and pull it off. Those
They go to
stupid
whip it.
things don't know to pull off. Like, I'm not. No, it's
But
a
if
four no's
if
for
your
me.
friend if your friends are holding it on out of the water.
What are they going? Are they going to sweet talk it right on off his arm?
Yeah, like, all right, that's good. We're good.
Good shark. Get on off of it.
Hey,
now. That's enough.
One time I had a friend that got a tiny alligator hung on his finger, and was we had to, and we worked through it.
That friend thought
As a family.
that tiny alligator could be trained
Yep.
to be cordial to humans when they get petted
Right.
and fed, but alligators do not become cordial.
They do not.
No.
They still bite 100% of the time.
And just locked down apparently.
100% of the time. And their little alligator barrel rolls
Little alligator death rolls,
Yeah.
little baby death rolls.
Yeah.
are painful,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, he does. And when they start doing that thrashing,
Oh, yeah, that head
that
whip.
little thrash, little alligator thrash.
Oh, yes. So, one of those three things I kind of want to happen in my life, but like I don't want any real serious long-term damage.
No
Yeah, I'm the
residual
same way.
effects.
No
but-
residual effects.
Man, gunshot
Ooh,
went
that's gotta
cool.
burn like
Jaw,
a mofo.
man, shark though, that's sweet. Shark, yeah, sweet.
What about the poisonous snake?
No, I'm not touching that. I'm not having anything to do with that.
I feel like that's probably the most likely thing that could happen is us getting bit.
Yeah.
I've been snake bit before.
I'd rather pay a shark to shoot me and bite me at the same time
Then a snake.
than get bit by a poisonous snake.
I would
Dude, I have
rather-
nightmares about
a
poisonous
snake.
snakes.
I can go get some like antivenom. All right, I lose like a 4-inch chunk of my skin or my
just rotting
tissue.
away.
A
That could be your
shark
whole wiener.
for some, yeah. But like a shark, your leg's gone or
yeah.
your calf's
It could
gone.
be bad.
Yeah.
That depends,
I mean, unless you get a freaking nurse shark that doesn't have any teeth, like a little.
Oh,
he's
they
got them
don't have
little,
any teeth?
He's got them little sandpaper gummy.
No, he's got to have real teeth. Well,
A nurse shark?
no. If you get bit by a shark,
oh,
I didn't know nurse sharks didn't have shark teeth.
I don't think they have
I thought they
shark
just
teeth.
didn't bite.
Bro, I don't
No,
know.
I think they've got like
I'm gonna look that up.
a sandpaper.
Where's the snapping turtle play into this? That though?
Oh,
Real
that's
question.
not on
No,
my
I've
list.
seen them dumb things. You ever? What's
No, you're
that
not- yeah.
dude's name? The yee guy.
Turtle Man.
Turtle Man. Yeah, yeah.
Turtle Man.
Is that really his name?
Oh, yeah.
I've never even seen this.
Yeah,
Really?
It was on Discovery
Nah.
for a little
Oh
while.
yeah, he'll run in the water and swim down to the bottom of the pond and pull out a snapping turtle.
Catch those big snapping turtles.
Nope.
I'm doing. I would choose the alligator 1st. Mm-hmm. Then getting shot would be if I had to pick something else. The shark will be last, bro, because it's like a mouthful of razor blades. It's taking the chunk out of you. It's gone.
Yeah, it's leaving with it.
Yep.
And if he doesn't get it on the first clamp down, he does the eyes roll in the back of the head and the rip, and then your leg's gone.
Well, they're razor blades, so it's more of a cleaner cut than an alligator that
chunk,
just
though.
grabs and then rips.
Or
An alligator's
rolls.
gonna rip.
He gonna roll it.
Where is the shark in relation to the poisonous snake for you? You would rather the shark shoot you and bite you.
Yeah, and I'd pay it rather than getting.
This is that car salesman thing. Like right now, like
Dude,
you're not
I'm
even gonna
just-
negotiate with
dude,
a snake.
No, not at all,
So
man. Like
serpents,
a poisonous snake.
like
Yeah, I do.
stuff
I have,
that,
I
like,
have nightmares.
creeps you
Like,
out.
yeah, I have nightmares about getting bit by snakes. Like we've had these conversations before, where it's just like
As
nah,
long
man.
as it won't kill me, I'm taking a snake every day of the week.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be way less damage.
I think
But
so.
it wouldn't leave as cool of a scar.
No.
Just eat your flesh.
Yeah, if you had a good rounded set of teeth or a good bullet hole, I think people would be like, yeah, that's
that would be cool.
That's
Man.
cool.
It'd have to be a regular bullet, no hollow points. I'm not trying to blow out the backside.
No, it's got to be a full metal jacket that
Yeah.
just freaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight through.
Yeah.
Y'all seen the slow mo videos of what the entrance does and like how far it opens you up, like the ballistic gels?
Yes, dude.
Man, you're gonna have some hemorrhaging. Mm-hmm. You can be purple for days.
dude.
Well, we've covered a lot of things today, boys. And, if anybody's out there wanting to take some exhibition matches, one of our
No
buddies
guy.
is very affluent in fighting nowadays.
Yep. Just he's got to go with that old bowling ball injury. But once he gets that under control,
Yeah.
it's freaking gone.
Or if you got any pet sharks,
Yeah.
give us a call.
Yeah.
We were lined up to fight May 30th, but we're going out of town now. And then, not to mention though, since I was taking on just trying to win at everything in life, D did the same thing. He's a championship of the world, of the universe jet ski racer now.
That was just the weekend prior to your fight, wasn't that? Was when you called me.
I went and won something I don't do professionally at all, and then you were like, "Yeah, I can't let you be the only one, so I'm taking yes to this jet ski thing,
Bro, if we're gonna-
offshore jet skiing."
If we're going to win stuff, we're going to win it together.
Yeah, ocean jet skiing, not on a placid lake.
Dude, how'd that even come about? That's the craziest thing. Like just jet ski championship.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you get a call like from Monster and they're like, "Hey, are you free this weekend to race jet skis in the ocean?" You pretty well just say yes. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
I don't have jet ski racing experience, but I feel like driving the Sparks through the swamps.
When you're ramping boats
Yeah.
in 12
The
mile.
highest viewed Sea-Doo
That's-
video ever.
How could you prepare better than that? Yeah, Sea-Doo's highest.
They didn't do their
viewed reel.
background check when they asked competitors. 'Cause
No.
if they did, they'd have been like, well, this freaking fool rides jet skis all the time.
Exactly. Same thing as Battle of the Badges. Same
Yeah,
thing.
they
got a freaking
obviously
ringer.
haven't looked at his Facebook.
Had a ringer, you know.
They wouldn't have asked Quinton if they to fight
They
this
looked
poor.
at his videos, not his tagged videos.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Dude,
And so
he's the only dude I've ever met in my entire life. Colin, this is the only dude I've ever met, and I'm sure everybody else, that literally on his phone and will send you videos of surveillance of the CCTV in restaurants of him fighting. And it's like, how does he even get that?
Yeah,
I'm
that is
surprised
true.
there's not more. As many as I've been in that have been caught on camera. Honestly, it's always in settings where people are doing dumb stuff though. It's like the bars where
Yeah.
alcohol's involved, stuff like that. My mom's always said troubles follow me.
That's
and,
true.
And I swear it's true. You've been with me a bunch. I don't.
I never believed it until we went to Mud Nats that year.
Yeah.
And
And
I
that
think
dude
you
that
were
threw
there.
the beer at D.
Yeah, that night, but before that, when we were
Oh, he
cruising
ran
around
into the back lot, yeah.
and he ran, and that dude on the Renegade or whatever it was ran in the back of you in your brand new X3 that you had all dolled up, and you were with your girlfriend at the time, and it's like, what on earth, dude? Like for no reason, hey, nobody's moving. You know
And
what I'm
I didn't
saying?
beat him up. I'm not.
No,
I'm
you
not
just-
like.
you just
I don't
pushed
beat
him off.
people up just because I have a reason to. But was I bullied him?
No, you just pushed him off his machine and went about your business. It was fun.
Now the dude that threw the beer at y'all.
yeah, that was not.
That was
not a
on
thing.
site. I
Yeah.
knew when I got out of the X-ray, I was like, oh, yeah. I figured y'all were down, too. I was surprised y'all was calling. Y'all was like, I'm cracking this steroid dude. Him and he was what? 300?
Dude, he was
Yeah.
he was keyed up. Me and DH were like far back, and when we pulled up to that, like, dude was out of the vehicle, and I think that guy Chris Wyatt, is that his name?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was
that's
on
right.
the ground with him, dude, like that dude, and it's like, holy cow, man.
you know how the road to Mud Nationals at Jacksonville used to be that red clay. So when it get wet, like you could just do donuts and stuff. So it was like fighting on glass. And so when they all converged, bro, they just hit like it was one of those big riots where they just crash into each other and everybody falls. And so like Chris ran over there and missed and slipped and kind of almost tackled the dude. And Quinton ran up and landed it and then fell all the way on top of this dude. And
I don't
they just-
remember that. I don't remember that part, but I just remember Chris.
Dude, everybody was piled up and just
Yeah, it definitely ended up on
It's
the
just like,
ground.
what on earth?
nobody could stand. They're trying to swing like they were fighting on ice out there.
Dude, what's funny? Everything gets broke up and everybody takes off, and for whatever reason, that guy gets in behind y'all or a couple. Me and DH still farther back. He gets behind and following down the high line, and then he pulls over about 100 yards, 200 yards later. And as we're going by him, DH is like, "Hey, there's that dude," and. Dude, I don't know how he heard him, but the dude was like, "What?"
No, and he can't hear anything
No,
but
Josh
the
like-
one thing DH says.
Josh like nothing.
No,
we didn't say nothing.
we just kept on we just kept on driving.
We're talking about that guy in the woods
Dude,
over
we were
there.
laughing. It's like, bro, dude, get so turned up, you know?
Well, you could tell he was drunk and got rocked when I hit him because he didn't even, once everybody got broke up, we all got back in our vehicles
Yeah.
quick. D's like, bro, we can't be mixed up in this at the event. He didn't even know who did what in what vehicle. It was dark.
Right.
And yeah, for sure he was drunk. Like, and so that's what's funny. We were all drive by him and, because remember, he whipped out from the line, like, who hit me? Like, who was that? Trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I can't remember. That was like super. I can't remember what happened, but it was like super unprovoked, man. Like you got
I don't
mad
remember
because you
this.
we were all leaving and the roads merged and you went and didn't let him go before you, and that made him mad.
Yeah.
No.
It was something
we,
retarded.
We pulled out and merged in behind him, and he was messing with his radio and going real slow. So we just eased around him. What him like we cut him off. He stopped. He gasses on
That's
it
right.
and passes y'all and stops and then chunks the beer and it goes right in between y'all's head and I see it fly through the cab of the Defender and I was like, oh, we're fighting. That's do not pass go. So I just get out. He steps out and I just hit him and then we go to the ground. And then all y'all come up and we end up breaking it up and get up. I remember his girlfriend was screaming, y'all,
Yeah.
don't hurt him.
Was that
I'm
the
like,
year we
this
had
dude
the-
is 250 pounds and steroided up, look like strongman.
Yeah.
That was year we had the new Renegades.
Is when we had Low Blow because he clipped the front of Low Blow.
Yeah, it was Lobo was brand new.
Yes.
so
That's what
I
y'all
think
were
I
in.
was farther up the trail because I remember waiting and I remember him doing the radio thing. Because it was when we pulled out of the
He
sand
was in a
pit, right?
Razor. I remember. He was in a Razor.
Yeah,
feel
man,
like-
I passed him like just casually, just like we weren't in
Even
no
a
hurry.
flow blow ain't fast. It's a defender.
Yeah,
on
and so like he
37s.
came back around and just barely touched the tire and just opened his door and just flung it out. I was like, man,
Bombed a full beer.
yeah, and it missed everything. So I was like, meh. I'll
let you pass on
Yeah,
that
I don't care. I don't care. I literally didn't care at all. And then Quinton just full
And
screamed.
Chris,
I'm like,
Chris
"God
Wyatt.
dang it.
Yeah, Chris Wyatt too, bro. He was going for it too.
Yeah, it didn't bother me at all. for whatever
Promise
reason. I
you,
was like, meh.
he's like, I'm not gonna do that again because they might can fight again.
Dude.
There's
He
consequences.
probably
for that.
ran across the street to the strip club and fought with somebody else
Yeah,
after
Probably
that.
whooped 3 dudes.
Yeah.
up there.
Right after that, for sure.
Have y'all seen that video of them fighting that leopard?
No, but
in
I
an
want
alley?
to.
Like,
Oh,
there's
that lion,
literally-
the mountain lion.
No. There's a leopard. He's got spots. Big difference. And it's in a country. I don't know what they were
Was
saying.
there's another one with a mountain lion.
So they were in this like alley with pipes and wooden like pole sticks, whatever. One dude's got a freaking wood chopping axe, and this leopard comes running out this building or out this like little garage on the side of the alley, grabs the dude by the leg, and all of them just start waylaying on him. Dude with the axe is waylaying.
Hitting their buddy?
No, the leopard.
Putting him out of his misery.
I mean, they may have been hitting their buddy because they were just throwing. But I don't know how I got on that, but dude.
You talking about the machete fights in
Yes,
Brazil?
the machete fights. I don't know where they were, but they were after that freaking leopard, and it was insane.
That's what they've been practicing on was
Had
the
to be.
freaking leopard fights.
Had to be, bro. Freaking leopard was freaking clawing them, and leopard got away. He was laid out like doing this, and they let him have a second, and he got up and ran off.
That's as crazy as that video of the monkey that rides up on the little motorcycle, grabs that kid and takes off with
yeah.
it, dude. We got to find that video and put that in there, Colin, because it's literally a small monkey on a small motorcycle
Right.
that rides up like he's in a gang. Like he's practiced kidnapping before, dumps the motorcycle, grabs the kid,
drags him.
drags the kid. The kid's twice the size of the little monkey, and the monkey's just dragging the little kid down the street. And the adults don't even really react for a little while. They're kind of like, I guess, dumbfounded that a little monkey rode up on a motorcycle.
So the monkey was by himself on the motorcycle?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't even have nobody with him.
Yeah, he's
Wasn't-
definitely in a gang.
I feel like he was running. He was the collector for the.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a
They
whole
trained
group,
him.
whole group of small monkeys on small dirt bikes just right around the corner, dude, waiting on him. Have you seen that video?
I seen one. I don't know if it's out, but I seen one where the monkey does that. It's freaking asinine.
Monkeys are
probably
wild.
Humans probably train them. Have you heard
They got
about? There's some foreign country people travel to film stuff, and the monkeys figured out if they steal the film crew's stuff, they'll go to the vendors and buy some kind of fruit, and the monkeys will give them their camera equipment back for the fruit.
I think it's
And they're-
Thailand where
and-
they're all on
Yeah.
the stone around them.
and they think that the vendors trained them first to steal the stuff, so the vendors sell more stuff.
That makes sense. Bro, Kristen got bit by a monkey in Costa Rica.
Oh, I'm surprised you let her go to that.
Huh? What you talking
The
about?
mission trip she went to.
Oh, that was Guatemala.
I
But
literally
with
thought
this
you were going
on
to
our-
call us one day and be like, "Hey, we got to go to
We gotta
Guatemala. We got to go
and
get
her.
Kristen."
No,
She's
it would have been
kidnapped.
Dustin's mom too. She was there.
yeah, no.
I didn't like
I can't
it.
believe y'all let him go.
I didn't
don't-
like it, but you know, I'm not gonna argue with them.
I mean,
but
they've had to shop at the Best Buy in Shreveport, and so
yeah,
it ain't Guatemala.
Guatemala ain't nothing.
No worse.
But when we went to Costa Rica on our honeymoon, all she wanted to do was see monkeys. So we went. What's the thing where you ride a zip line?
Yep.
Did the zip line, and when we're done, we go to this little kind of zoo thing or whatever. Well, they had a little baby monkey, had a little diaper on and stuff. And they were like, "Oh yeah, you can hold it." So she's holding it, and I was trying to take a picture, and I think the phone flashed or the camera flashed, and it scared the monkey. Monkey went, "Ow!" Bit down on her hand, slapped her in the face, and jumped down. And the handler was like, "Wild monkey attack." And we're like, it just bit her. Like, did it break it? Did it break the skin? She didn't know what to do. She was like, that fight or flight. Like, she didn't know to punch the monkey. I initially like went after the monkey.
Oh, yeah.
But then I was
like you
what
were
am I
gonna
going to
chase
do?
it down?
Yeah. Like, what am I going to do? Beat up a little baby monkey?
Oh, I'd have spiked that thing into the ground.
Yeah.
Bro, I would have soccer kicked that thing.
Yeah.
Bro, the fact that
Dude.
the fact that it slapped her
It
too.
slapped
that
her in the
fucking-
face.
I feel like this is like the gun story that Quentin's talking about. That like when you're in that position, you don't never know what you're gonna do. And we're all like, "Yeah, bro, I'd have picked that monkey up by his tail and thrown it." But then it's like, well, if you saw your old lady get bit by a monkey,
Yeah.
and open hand pimp slap,
Slapped
be
her.
laughing.
I'd be
It
like,
was on the verge
oh,
of
dang.
It was laugh, worry about her, fight the monkey.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know what to do because I'm like, all right, are you okay? Because she's kind of like tearing up. She don't know what to do. I'm like, are you okay? Did it break the skin? Are we gonna have freaking, who knows what
Bury
disease
her
now?
there and-
Dude, I'm always devil's advocate when it comes to stuff like that. You know how I am. And all right, so the Flash got the monkey to bite it. For the monkey to slap Kristen, my question at that point is like, whoa. What did Kristen?
what did
Kristen do
Yeah.
to deserve getting
She
slapped?
had
All
a
right,
piece of
the bite
fruit.
was obviously from the Flash.
Yeah.
But why is she getting slapped?
She had a piece of fruit in her hand to keep the monkey right there on her arm. So I'm thinking, he wanted the fruit to roll over so he could get some more bites.
Yeah, and she wasn't doing
She
it.
wasn't doing it, so he let her have it. Yeah, bit her, slapped her, ran off. But the handler literally was just like, wild monkey attack.
That's funny.
And then was like, yeah, he's kind of like an adolescent right now, so he's going through like monkey puberty, so he's got an attitude. And we're like, yeah, he's freaking biting people. Like,
Why do
do
you
y'all
gotta be-
know this is going on?
That's awesome.
It was funny.
Did he slap her hard enough to leave like fingerprints on her?
No, he didn't get her that good.
How big was the monkey? Like what it weighed?
I don't know, like that tall.
You're showing like a foot and a half.
Yeah, like it was
Like a
in her
spider
hand, one
monkey,
hand.
right? Like one of
yeah,
those
like a
spider
little
monkeys?
like capuchin monkey or whatever they're
Yeah.
called.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
it wasn't
alright, so
big.
she was holding it up here like this,
Yeah, like she had it in front of her face,
So-
like I was taking the picture.
bites her hand, and then turns.
Full
Full,
whap.
full straight on contact.
Yes.
Right, eye level.
No, you
just-
could hear it. It was
That's what I was gonna say. Was it audible? Like
yeah, 100% audible.
I feel like
Full
Josh is
extension.
fixing to ask, did he put powder on his
yeah,
hand?
he reached back in his little baby diaper, monkey diaper, powdered it up.
full extension.
Let her have it.
Can you imagine looking at a little monkey like, say, oh, it's so nice. Wow, right across
Wow.
your face.
Dude, I felt so bad because all she talked about was while we were in Costa Rica seeing monkeys, and we saw them while we were ziplining. Like there was howler monkeys all over the place. And then she was like, I can hold it. And they're like, oh, yeah, you can hold it. And I was like, oh, awesome. I'll get a freaking picture of you. Get to hold the monkey. Worst experience ever. Screw monkeys. Like, she's not about a baby
I was
monkey
gonna say,
no more.
call her right now and ask her what she thinks about monkeys now. Hold on, howler monkeys, aren't those the mean ones?
They're the big ones, but this one wasn't a howler monkey. Like, it was a little one.
But y'all were ziplining by the dangerous monkeys, like through their house.
Yeah, definitely were. They were up in the tree, like 20 yards, and they were just chilling.
Monkeys, bro. What we talk about all the time? How strong they are, muscle density.
Me and Josh talked about
weapon.
that the other day. People were like, yeah, a gorilla, silverback gorilla is 10 times as strong as a human male. They could bench press over 1,500 pounds. I'm like, who has ever set a gorilla down and been like, all right, push this?
Who's put him on the bench press? At the zoo. Like,
What was it?
I bet there's a video. I bet there's a video
We took
online.
it a step farther, and it was like, we know the strength of gorilla now, but we don't know the strength of a gorilla that's lifting weights, working out.
yeah, on roids.
Could you imagine if they're as strong as they are now? Imagine if he freaking
If you put him on a training regiment in like a year from now, you're
All
like,
right, all right. So get bit by a shark, bit by a snake, bit by an alligator, or double hammer fisted by a gorilla.
Yeah, that's not even on my list.
Dead.
I don't even want an Indian burn.
Bro,
from a
he
gorilla.
would
Indian burn.
Hulk smash the life out of you, dude.
Or bit by a gorilla. Because they got
those-
them mega jaws.
Those are not on my list.
Could you imagine a gorilla putting you in a headlock? I mean, just squeeze your little,
Just
squeeze
dragging
head.
your little body around.
Bro, a
Break your
gorilla
skull.
could do the sickest noogie ever, bro.
dude.
If he locked
Rip
you
your
down and
scalp
went
off.
to just scrub,
Rip your scalp off, bro.
we're all here. That's probably the most ridiculous thing I've ever said in my life is a gorilla noogie. So we're just going to wrap this bad boy up.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So if you want to, first of all, welcome back to Checkers or Wreckers. This was a long one. This was a good one. There's a lot of information there. We still got some more that we're going to cover.
Yeah,
so
we didn't cover half. Well, a quarter.
We're good. That's perfect.
Almost
Content.
didn't-
Job security.
Almost didn't cover anything we talked about talking about today.
We script gone.
Yeah, so if you want to listen to more of these, you can check it out on all of the streaming services. And if you want to see the crazy stuff that we're doing, some of the videos that we're referencing that Colin will throw up on here, you got to go check it out on YouTube, but you can also hear it in Apple Play and Spotify and everything. So go check out more Checkers and Wreckers, and we got some more in the pipeline coming up for you. So that's it.
Let's go.